Before we start, please hear a message from International News Today Network. Starting today, for every subscriber, International News Today Network will plant one tree to save our planet. Please help contribute in saving our planet by subscribing to our channel. One subscriber equals one tree. Thanks.
Sisakit ang iyong tinga, yung ulo.
Dami na napatay dyan. Hindi na kaya ba?
Yung dati naming bahay.
Meron na ngayon mahirap maglakad dahil nagdadive ng nagiginto.
Gusto kong lumakad, hindi na ako kalakad.
Bawal ang paggiginto na walang mga permit. Wala kami lahat dito license permit. Yan lang ang ito niya. Liit lang atin kita, ganyan lang.
Panaon Island in the Philippines, home to Pinotan Barangay, the Philippines' underwater Klondike. Divers here find gold beneath the waves, just off the coast. This is Severina Mahar. Just like all the others, he came to Pinotan to make his fortune. And while he's doing so, Severina tells us how things work around here.
Kaya, naisipan ko ano ang gagawin ko para sa hanap buhay ay marunong ako magsisid. Ay dito na, ginawa ko na aking alam na magsisid.
The first people to find gold here were the Spanish, as early as the 18th century. But within 100 years, a landslide got in the way. In the 20th century, Americans came, but were swept away by a typhoon. For decades, big corporations have kept selling the mine on, but eventually were driven out by low margins. And once they'd all gone, the gold divers moved in.
Pagdating dito ay mahirap paggiginto dahil malamig sa ilalim, ang dilim doon, malabo, di makakita. Minsan, tulad ngayon.
The problem with the works carried out here is that the gold divers cripple coastal integrity. They dig tunnels and bring sand and gravel from the bottom to the shore, and that causes landslides and floods.
Doon sa ilalim ng dagat, mahirap pagka masisira ang mga halimbawa kompresor at makina dahil wala ka ng hangin doon sa ilalim, maghirap ka ng pag sira ang makina at sa kompresor, walang masisira, okay lang magawa doon sa ilalim ng dagat.
Nineteenth century placer mining looked much as it does now. The air was pumped by people rather than generators, and they didn't have diving suits. Other than that, it's almost the same.
Binabanlas namin doon sa mga banlasan, isang paraan yan sa pag-process na makukuha ang ginto na nandoon sa sand ang gravel. Pagkatapos dyan, bilingon pa dyan, pag mabiling na, kukunin ang ginto, yan na ay bibinta sa mga buyer dito.
Severino's wife, Rosalita, picks through the sand on the shore to find gold. Her method may be less productive, but it's not as dependent on the weather.
mabuti na lang yung trabaho ko kahit pang lalaki kaysa walang ginagawa. Sa hirap ngayon. Na hindi kami magpagbinta ng isang araw kasi hindi mabinta kunti. Masyadong maliit. Basta kaya ko. Ang hindi ko lang kaya yung magpuso. Masyadong nakakapagod tapos mahirap. Pero kailangan tiisin eh. Wala kasi kami buhay.
Kung maganda ang panahon, hindi tulad ngayon na mayroon mga typhoon, isang araw ay kikita kami ng 500 pesos ang araw namin. Pag mag-typhoon, tulad ng ilang araw na ngayon, no, malabo ang dagat, mahirap magsisid, ay wala kaming kita.
Yung dati naming bahay, tapos nasira na, nagrenta na kami ng 200. Nung may bagyo, yung malubog yung dagat, 1 linggo din yun, walang trabaho. Ako lang kasi ang nasahan eh.
Dito sa entire Pinutan, meron na ngayon mahirap maglakad dahil nagdadive ng nagiginto. Bigla kasi siyang humaon, nasira ang makina, ay wala nang mahinga siyang hangin doon. Bigla siyang haon, ayan ang dahilan na nakasira sa kanyang katawan, na mahirap na siya ngayon maglakad.
Severino's talking about the bends, or decompression sickness. Air contains nitrogen that the human body can't absorb. We all have nitrogen in our bodies, but in a harmless dissolved state. If pressure falls too rapidly, when coming up too quickly from a dive, for example, the gas forms bubbles in the blood, which some say starts to boil. A badly calculated ascent can lead to severe paralysis and sometimes even death.
Hindi na ako makakalakad pag sa baybay. Baybay.
Is the Pinutan Barangay Captain. It's an administrative position, a sort of district head. The captain is one of the buyers of the divers' gold. The problem is, this kind of mining by individuals is forbidden. But there are workarounds. Commercial placer operations are permitted, so prospectors form cartels to look like a big company in the eyes of the law. The captain thinks it's better to buy the gold rather than constantly send the police to drive the diggers away.
Pero kahit pa huli ng huli yung CIDJ, babalik at babalik yung mga to kasi wala silang nakikitang ibang paraan na kumita at maaahon yung pangangailangan ng mga kanilang pamilya araw-araw.
This classic gold extraction method uses mercury. It's called pan amalgamation. After taking out the stones by panning, they add mercury to the sand and mix them together. When combined, mercury and gold attract. Liquid mercury is not as dangerous as its vapor form, but it is advisable to use protection, of course. The mercury-gold mixture is called amalgam. Now you need to pressurize the mercury and boil the rest away. Remember the liquid Terminator in Judgment Day? In reality, it would have had to be under constant pressure to express other particles to avoid becoming an amalgam. Now, this part of the process is quite hazardous, so a gas mask is essential.
Ang sa kanya lang yan dito sa ano,
Apat.
siya lang nagawa yan, siya. Nahiran sa akin, nandoon sa akin sa laot, hindi pa natapos.
Sa 4 na araw, yun lang 3 milligram na sila. Magkano yung 3 milligram?
Kita natin kakapitan. Siguro meron 400 no?
Apat na ba?
Yan ang ito niya.
May makuha silang ginto, ibinta mo sa kanila, yung ang ganansya mo lang yung presyohan. Kaya bibilhin mo sa kanila ng 1.4, ibinta mo doon sa Surigao ng 1.8. So bawat gramo may more or less 400 yung kikitain mo doon.
Doon sa Mindanao, meron akong asawa na hindi sumasama dito kasi yung kasama ko dito ay kalibin ko lang yun. Hindi kami kasal dito na kami nagka-anak ng 2.
So, how much does the captain pay for Rosalita's find?
Nandito na tayo. Malapit na magkapira. Ay, 250 mg naman.
Magkano po yan, Kap?
350. 350 pesos. Magbayad na ako ng kalating milyon. Ito na, magbayad.
Pambili ng bigas.
Pabili ng
Bigas,
ulam, bigas at saka sasakyan. Para hindi ka lang...
There, Severino and his wife have become rich.
Ang liit lang atin kita. Ganyan lang. Hirap ang pagiginto dito.
Now they can spend the money. So, what can you get for $7?
Bili ng 3 kilong bigas.
3 kilos?
O, saan
Punya
nga?
kape. Kanang itom nga kape.
Katong Nescafe.
Kanina. Kanina yung 26.
Asukal po 1/4. Asukal.
214.
214.
May ni kay bidyuhan ta.
Tagadis aman ni.
Kanila.
Ito na lang yung natira ng pera natin. 136.
Pakisabi ito na lang yung katira namin. Pakisabi.
Ibibili pa namin bukas ng gamot, ulam. 136 na lang yung natira sa 350 namin.
The prospectors are imprisoned by the gold. They earn just enough to keep themselves alive. The luckiest might even manage to save just enough for their children's education, so that one day, maybe their kids can escape.